Hello, and welcome to Oracle GL Cloud Training. This session will be on entering journal entries. So as always, I'm starting from the home screen. And you could always get home by clicking on the home icon. And you'll be presented with the tiles or the menu items that you're allowed to go into. So you can start off by going into General Accounting. And then once you click on that, you'll see one or a few tiles underneath that. For journal entries, we want to click on the one that says Journals. All right, once you click on that, you'll be in the Journals screen, and you can see that a couple things to just point out is my data access set for me is Kaplan Inc. For you, it may be something else. It'll be called something that is your businesses that you have access to. If you have more than one, you can click on the change and change your data access set. The data access set is simply a ledger or a company code or a combination of the two. And then down here in the journal screen, you'll see things that are requiring attention, that are incomplete, or that have errors. To enter a new journal entry, you want to go over here to the right to the task menu. You click on that, you'll be presented with what you have access to. So there's two ways to put a journal entry in. Either create a journal entry, which is putting it straight into the application, or create a journal entry in a spreadsheet, which is what I'm going to be showing today. So go ahead and click on Create Journal Entry in Spreadsheet. And once you do that, an Excel spreadsheet will either pop up or will be down in your download area. Go ahead and click on the spreadsheet. And Oracle will ask you to sign in to the spreadsheet upload tool. This will establish a connection to your database. I'm already connected, so I didn't have to log in, but if you weren't connected yet, it would ask you to put in your credentials to log in. So as you can see, this is the spreadsheet upload template. It says Create Journal on it. It will have your data access set here. So what you want to do is you want to start to enter the header information, which is this top area up here. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my journal entry name and my journal entry description. Please refer to your accounting policy on what the naming conventions are for your journal entries. For your ledger, anytime you see an asterisk, it means it's a mandatory field. So you can go into the field, and you can see on this field I have a drop down. So I'm going to go ahead and click the drop down, and I'm going to choose my ledger. So in this case, I want to choose KUSD. So depending on who you are, you're going to have access to either one ledger or multiple ledgers. So this journal entry is going to be going into the KUSD ledger. For the accounting date, I'm going to enter in this convention the accounting date. And for the training environment, we have it open right now for June. So I'm going to put a June 30th, 2020 accounting date. For the adjustment period, you don't need anything. And for the source is always going to be spreadsheet, because we can then track the fact that this journal entry was done via a spreadsheet. You don't have a choice when you do it through a spreadsheet. For category, this is where you pick your category. You can either type it in exactly, or you can double click on it. If you double click on it, you'll see a search here that you can either enter a wildcard, and I'm going to type in AD and hit search. So give me any categories that start with AD. I'm going to choose adjustment and say OK. And we're going to skip reversals here, because I'm going to put reversals in a separate video. So this is just a basic journal entry. So the header information is now complete. For your chart of accounts values, you click down into this area down here, and anytime you see this brackets with the 2 dots, you can double click inside of that. If you double click on any of the chart of accounts values, it's going to pop up the following screen here, which then if you click on this little select icon, you'll be able to put in your chart of accounts. All of the chart of accounts that will populate all of the values. So there's a couple ways to search your chart of accounts. You can use an alias, which will pre-populate your chart of accounts. So if I knew my cost center, I could put that in. So if I chose to use an alias, which I don't have to, I could click on the drop down. I can either pick my alias or just type it in. And if I do choose an alias, it'll pre-populate my company code and my cost center, and it'll also pre-populate all the zeros down here. So this is one way to choose your chart of account segments. The other thing you can do is you could just click on this, and if I know my values, I could either just type them in, or I can click the drop down and I can pick them here. So either way you want to do it. Once you start to choose your values, the other thing you can do is, once I know my part of my values, I could also click down here on search, which will give me any of the combinations that met that criteria that I already put in. So if you wanted to kind of select by combination, you can do it this way. So if I picked one of these combos, just a little tip, a lot of times you have to scroll down to see the OK button. So I just did it that way, and I'm going to say OK. And then another way you can do it, obviously, is just to choose all the different values. So I went to another line. So another way I can do it is just choose or type in all of the different values here. You can do it that way. And then also keep in mind, this is an Excel spreadsheet. So you can just simply, once you have any data from anywhere, you can just copy and paste it, even from a different spreadsheet. Once I do that, I'm going to put in my currency code. So in this case, I'm going to use USD. Copy that down. And then I'm going to put in my debits and credits. So let's put a $100 debit and $50 for the credit. So that's it. My journal entry is ready to go. I don't need anything else. Another couple notes here is, if you want to use, if you're doing a statistical entry, you can choose the currency of STAT instead of USD. Other than that, this journal entry is ready to go. Once you have your journal entry, all the fields populated, you want to come up here, up at the top of the screen, and hit submit. And once you hit submit, it's going to say submit journal, import and posting, and whether or not you want to import the descriptive flex field. So leave it just like this. Leave it with the radio button selected for submit journal, import and posting, and import descriptive flex field says no. The reason why you want to keep this as import and posting is that'll submit it for approval. It won't post the journal entry. It'll just submit it for approval. So for Oracle, anytime you see post, it actually means post only once it's been approved. So just keep that in mind, and then hit submit, and you'll see it processing. And then it'll give you the job number and the group ID. So you can make a note of those if you want, because that's the job that Oracle has on file for this journal to be imported into the application. Say OK to that, and then a good check is to just make sure that in the row status, all of your journal rows say row inserted successfully. that's it for entering a basic journal entry. This journal entry will now be in the system. It'll be waiting for my approver to approve it. But that's how you do it. If this spreadsheet has additional supporting documents, like if this came from an analysis, you can just copy all of the analysis into this, or if you want to get more advanced, you can link it to that. But in terms of entering a journal, the basics of entering a journal, this is it. Thank you very much.